It's 4 in the morning and I can't frickin' sleep because I'm losing my mind all day long. I had to hear people be like, no kings, no kings. Hey, you coming to the cool social event? No kings, no kings, let's go. I know you guys. You support fucking masters. So your fucking protests, you're using anarchist slogans and calling it no kings and shit, but you just support like slightly different rulership? Are you fucking kidding me? No kings should mean no rulers. Sure, they got elected. So did Donald Trump. Oh, but he's not following the internal fucking democratic principles. Do you realize the minutia of what you're saying, bro? It's like you had a plantation, and then a bunch of the slave masters were supposed to get together and vote and like check each other on how they should treat the slaves. And if they don't do that, you complain. If they do that, you worship them and go to these stadiums with their fucking names on your shirt and cry about how they're getting to be the master. Random people get offended and complain about me to my fucking boss and try to get me fired. He compared government to slavery. You fucking idiot. I'm not comparing anything. I'm literally describing what slavery is. Slavery is not about being black. What the hell? Like, you could have some white person on a leash and collar, like, and make them do stuff and eat out of a fucking bowl. Does that make it not slavery? Why is he a slave? Because you're forcing him to do stuff against his will and threatening him if he doesn't. What happens if I don't pay Kamala the Queen? Well, she sends enforcers, a legion of enforcers to collect the money. And what happens if I don't give her the money? The legion of enforcers are gonna fucking kidnap me. You own yourself. I don't own you. So you have a right to decide what to do with your money. You have a right to decide what to eat, what to smoke, what to say, etc. Because you own you. And if I did claim to own you and then treated you as property to do with what I wish, that's slavery. Claiming to own other people, fucking newsflash, is what slavery is. Freedom might be scary, but like these are not arguments against it. Oh, but because it's fucking immoral. Like it's like saying, oh, well, we can't pick the cotton, so we should just keep the slaves. No. Like, back then they didn't know how they'd pick the cotton. They didn't have the fucking cotton mill. This was a problem that they did say. Oh, well, how are we going to pick the cotton? But other people were like, fuck you and your fucking cotton. Maybe you can't pick cotton and you just have to not use it. Maybe we can't build the roads. Maybe we can't fucking build the roads somehow. And fuck the roads. Then we won't have roads. You can't justify slavery with excuses. It's like, I've never thought I'd see the day that people are saying no kings. Finally. And then it turns out that it's just a bunch of fucking Democrats that just want a queen or some, good-looking cool king or a fucking old, senile, completely, like, just the dumbest possible, like a king who would just suck in every way. Somehow that's good. They think that because it's not internally reviewed in the right, he just signed off on it. He wasn't checked by the other branches of the plantation. What are you talking about, bro? Like, oh, we don't want just one master. We want a bunch of masters that like argue about what to do on the plantation. But then it still results in the same thing. Regardless of how they got to that conclusion, regardless of if people voted on it or whatever, it doesn't matter. In the end, there's one person initiating harm, forcing their will, coercing another person, and that's morally wrong and creates negative karma. The more immoral behavior like that we advocate for and support, the less free we become, okay? It's inversely proportional. The more morally we act, okay, if we stopped eating fucking meat and killing things and being fucking assholes and supporting slavery, we would be much more free. We'd become free over time. If everyone was like that, we'd be free right away. It's called karma, okay? If you support slavery and eat dead animals and fucking torture them their whole lives and then eat their flesh off the bone like some fucking psycho, then you're not going to be free. You're going to become increasingly less free. That's called karma. Miss me with this bullshit about no kings unless you actually are an anarchist. It's like if you had a fucking no masters protest and like, I don't know, Frederick Douglass or some guy was there and you were all supporting like female masters. Like we just want them to be girls because girls are cool. It's like, that's not the fucking principle, you asshole. You think that girl's not controlled by some fucking dude anyway? Like, you think that, like, the girl master, you think that any of these fucking presidents, the presidents that preside over you and control you, you think that they actually are not controlled by higher forces? Oh yeah, that's totally true, dude. You, as a slave, are taught the correct, like, totally correct thing. It's totally true. Like, what they teach us on their fucking slave box, like on the slave box, they say that that's the master. In the slave camps, they say that that's the main guy, the main girl. It must be true. It can't be that there's higher forces that you don't see. It can't be that like they're hiding from you the actual people making decisions. That would be a conspiracy theory, and that's just so crazy. Why would the masters lie to us? They wouldn't lie. The masters wouldn't lie on the fucking plantation to the slaves. So if you ever question them, you're a master is bad theorist. Why would this ever happen? I'm just so naive that I can't imagine it. But I'm gonna go to some fucking social event and dress like a fucking furry and walk around and be like, no kings, because I have no idea what I'm talking about. And I'm offensively ignorant to people that actually do work to try to change the condition of slavery. When I go home, I make videos on this shit. I try my best to actually make an impact on people's thinking. I'm trying to educate people about natural law and morality. All people have equal rights, and therefore it's wrong to initiate harm against other sentient beings. And a right is an action that does not initiate harm to other sentient beings. That's what I would call morality. That is morality. Not what I would call it, but that's why I use that term a lot. That's what I teach. No person in the general public that I've ever met, and that's a lot of people, dude, they've never been like, oh yeah, no rulers. I don't believe in rulership because I understand that I own myself and that other people don't own me because I'm not a slave. I understand what rights are. Like, try this. Go ask people what a right is. No one will know. They're like, oh, that comes from like the masters, right? They wrote a document called the Constitution and it gives us rights. Or like the Bill of Rights. Yeah, the masters wrote down hundreds of years ago, you have rights, and now I have them. And then like, they can always revoke them and take them away and send ICE after me. That makes sense. And you're like, no, dude, a right is an action that does not initiate harm to another sentient being. And their fucking mind is blown, and then they freak out because they realize, well, they eat animals, they support government, they're probably just assholes in their personal life, lying to people, deceiving them, etc. And so they just realize, well, I'm actually acting wrongly, and also my rights are completely stripped away because the entire populace is fucking ignorant as hell, and they don't understand what a right is. How are you going to defend rights if you don't know what they are? So then it's just like, then they end up like me, not being able to sleep, or they just suppress it, which is what they actually do. They just go home and they're like, well, that guy was weird. Glub, 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 you know? And, yeah, I fuck this shit, bro.